Jump scare. Jump scare. Hello. Hello, gamers. Oh, 1 sec. I forgot to do something. Hang on. Why is it honking outside of my house? Why are we honking our stupid cars? Why are we doing the stupid horn honks outside of my house? Anyway. Bonjour, gamers! Welcome to Star Stream! How we doing? It is the anime boy, it's true. I wanted to start off this stream by finishing this draw from last stream so that I can check it off on my to-do list. And then we can move on. But yes, howdy doodle everybody. How we doing? How we hanging? Borklaser 9000, thank you for joining the membership. 16 months. Let's go. That is a long time. That is several months. But yes, thank you. Hang on, I'm being sassed on Discord. My beloved friends are being so mean to me. Being so fucking mean to me. I'm just sitting over here trying to stream. And my friends are being mean to me. Jay! Fuck you, by the way! Fuck you! Get out of my stream! No forgiveness! No forgiveness for this shit. You think you can pull that shit on me right before, literal minutes before stream? And think I'm just gonna take that shit lying down? Get the fuck out. Be gone. I am being bullied by this fucking acorn man. It is the last fucking straw. Kill this man. Killed him. God damn it, what did he do? He's just doing what he always does. He's just doing his usual fucking shit. Mocking me for a joke I didn't even come up with. That he insists on. Tell them, Star, my buddy, my pal. Why don't you fucking go crawl in a hole and never come out? Okay, so Rose and I, Jay, if you guys don't know, so Jay is one of my mods and is also the DM of our D&D game, What's Left of Us, for as long as that's going to last. Might not be much longer if he keeps this shit up, because I'm gonna kill him. Rose and I, Rose is Jay's wife, we were talking about how excited we are for future sessions of our various D&D games. Because, you know, we are in two campaigns together, and sometimes we like to talk about things that happen in these games and how excited we are, and you know, all that stuff. Just friendly conversation. And so, you know, we're talking about, it's like, oh man, how many days until the next game? I'm so excited to play. And Rose pulls out the, there's only 4 more sleeps till next D&D, or however that goes. However the fuck it goes. And full disclosure, gang, I have not seen the Muppets Christmas Carol. I have never seen it. I have never seen most Muppets things. Yes, hijinks. I have not seen this film. However, if you guys are on the Tumblr website, you may know that every year around Christmas, the people of Tumblr do circulate that meme like it is going out of style. There's only X more sleeps till Christmas or whatever. Like, that is a very popular meme that goes around every single year on Tumblr. So even though I have not seen this film, I'm familiar with that meme enough to finish it. I know how it ends. That's disappointing to hear. Listen, there's several things I haven't seen, okay? Okay. And so Rose makes this joke. It's like, there's only X many sleeps until D&D, and so I send back the proper response to that line of thinking, which is, of course, to send the image of Kermit the Frog with the caption, internal screaming. You know, thinking it's totally safe for me to make this silly joke here, because Jay can't see this. And then he can't taunt me about fucking Kermemory with this bullshit, and then he texts me and says and fucking says, I knew you secretly liked Kermemory. After which point I sent him a 30-second long voice message of me just telling him to fuck off. And then he sends me back one that says, you're never beating the allegations. I call him specifically to tell him to fuck off. And he, right moments before this stream, I am like turning on OBS, I'm doing all my fun, silly shit, and this bitch drops a fucking shitty Kermit Emery meme in the Discord call, and I hate everything. I also frequently tell Cornman to go fuck himself. I'm pretty sure that everyone who is friends with him does on at least a semi-regular basis, because I mean, like, how could you not? I mean, look at him. Jesus. If I said 30 minutes for a second, I could. That's how I know I'm loved. Yeah, well, go fuck yourself. This is like within 24 hours of me making a humble request for one of our D&D games. A perfectly reasonable, humble request, and he tells me no, even after I use my secret technique sad emoji beam on him. And he says, I don't know, I think this character's probably too busy to show up. And I'm like, well, fuck you then. I wasted a sad emoji beam on you? Fuck you. Anyway, so that just, we're starting the stream off with some energy today. That's all you guys need to know. Ugh. I deflected that shit like a DBZ hero. That's my thoughts on Goku. Oh, good. I'm literally getting a headache. Like, I had a headache before stream, but Advil save me, Advil. I took some right before the stream. It's coming back. It's coming back, and it's your fault, Jay. Quite frankly. Is this how you pay me for being such a wonderful friend? You give me headache right before stream? Fuck off. Anyway. Maybe he just gets temp banned. Maybe you just fucking go away, actually, Mr. Corn. Milo, I hear you committing crimes in there! Hang on, I have to go yell at my cat. Milo! I know that you just knocked a cup off my table! Oh, you're a criminal. Oh, she's fine. Milo! Tiny fuzzy criminal knocking stuff off my chair. I cannot have a moment of peace today because there are criminals on every corner. Anyway, sorry, I am back. Welcome to this stream titled Star Can't Catch a Break. We haven't been live for 15 minutes and already so many shenanigans. So many shenanigans being done unto me. What have I done to deserve this? I am just a little guy trying to draw my silly little OCs and have a nice time on my live stream. And things just keep happening. Anyway, I timed out Jay because he deserves it. He forgets I have the power here. It's my fucking stream. I have the power. I have the mute button. Isn't Milo a littler guy? Yeah, but listen. Milo, okay, so you guys know how all cats are lactose intolerant. This is a fun fact, if you didn't know. Cats are lactose intolerant. They're not supposed to have milk, despite what all the cartoons would have you believe. Once they have aged up enough to not drink their own mother's milk, cats should not have milk, like at all. You should not feed it to them. Do not let them drink milk. It is actually supposedly very bad for them. And they should not have it. However, and he's on the alt account. Nope, be gone. Banned. Banned, actually. It's like playing whack-a-mole in here. Anyway, so you're not supposed... Yes, I'm hitting the tall Victorian child. Anyway, so Milo never got the memo that cats are not supposed to drink milk. Because I have never met a cat so fascinated by the beverage. Like, whenever I pour myself a glass of milk, Milo knows. She knows, like, instinctively. Like, she hears me going for the milk in the fridge and she is there. And she is like, oh, hello, mother. Would you please pass me some of that delicious substance? And I say, no, Milo, you can't have this. It will make your tummy hurt. And she says, no, I don't think it will actually give me some. And so the thing about that is that now, whenever I drink milk, you know, I don't let her have any. But if I ever leave a glass unattended that at any point had milk in it, Milo will be finding it. And she will be sticking her little paws inside of it. And because most of the cups that I own are fairly tall, she typically is clumsy enough that she knocks them over, which is exactly what happened in this instance. I had a glass of milk earlier, and I left the empty glass that still had some milk residue in it on my side table in my bedroom. And that was the sound of the cup being knocked over because Milo was sticking her little kitten paws inside of it. And she knocked it off my table, and I heard it, like, clanking around, and I'm just like, yep, that is the sound of a cat crime. That right there is the sound of cat crime. Which meant that I had to go clean up a little bit of spilled milk on my bedroom floor. Love that for me. I have caught her multiple times. Like, if I pour myself a glass of milk and then leave it unattended for like 10 seconds to go get something out of another room, I will come back to a cat with their paws in it. And I just... Don't cry over spilled milk. I'm not crying. I have just... I have done so many things today. Today was my admin day, which was basically Star stares at her computer and does logistics for the entire day, and my brain is so tired. My brain is so tired, gang. And I just can't catch a break. Because on the one side, I'm being beset upon by fucking memes from my trusted friends who are backstabbing me with fucking Kermit memes. And on the other hand, my cats are knocking things off of the table as soon as I am not paying attention to them. And it is in this instance when I just wonder, why did this happen to me? I have made my mistakes, and then the rest of the lyrics to that song. Jay, fuck off. How many alt accounts do you have? How alt accounts do you have? It's like playing whack-a-mole. God. Cube this corn man. Have I not suffered enough? How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes, and clearly one of them was being friends with a corn man. Goddamn! This is gonna be a game called How Many Alternate Accounts Does He Have? We're about to fizzy up and find out, gang! Oh man, you guys ever seen... Just say the word and I'll take out the internet? But see, then Jinx, you wouldn't be able to also be here. We need to harm only him. Have you guys ever seen the Ghost Stories anime dub? It has not aged especially well, but some of the lines in there are very funny, and some of them have just snuck into my lexicon forever. The main one being, what the fizzity-uck was that? Let's fizzity-uck and find out! I say that shit to myself, like, all the time. I don't know why that line in particular, it's not even one of the funnier lines in that bit. Like, if you look up a highlight video, it's not even one of the funnier lines from that dub. It's just, it has wormed its way into my lexicon for some reason. And it's... If you don't know what I'm talking about, just look up Ghost Stories anime dub highlights on YouTube and have some fun. Have some fun. The best anime dub that has ever been made. What the fizzity-uck was that? Let's fizzity-uck and find out. It's just... oh boy. Like, there are definitely, like, some lines that you can't say in certain company where it's just like... oh boy, it's like... you know. But there's just like that one and just fill the whole filler. Like that entire sequence of lines are my favorite. Like, oh, whatever. Just fill the whole filler. It's like just verb doer. It makes me laugh. It makes me laugh. It gives me the giggles. Anyway, we are having fun drawing little guys. We are drawing little guys today. How do we feel about drawing little guys today, gang? I love drawing little guys. You've been streaming a lot lately. I've had a lot to work on stream lately. Because, I mean, like, I used to stream, you know, 3 times a week very consistently. That was my thing. Every single week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I would stream and I would do some draws. One of the reasons I haven't been streaming as much is, 1, I was just kind of burnt out, and 2, it was easy to stream 3 times a week when I had 3 days worth of stuff to stream, but that has not been the case for a little bit, because the comic pages I've been working on have too many spoilers in them for me to feel comfortable doing them on stream, and I haven't been doing a whole lot of other art on the side that I can stream, but this is art for a future video, and there's no comic spoilers or anything in it, so I can stream it. And I like to stream when I can, and so I've just been saving these art pieces for doing on stream because it just makes things a little faster. Makes things nice. You know? But yeah, I will probably be keeping up the streams. I have this piece, and then how many more? I think 3 more? Yeah, so I have this piece, and then 3 more to do for my October video. But then I will also, you know, want to be making progress on my November video as well, which I will also be doing 10 illustrations for. And then I have to do the art for next month's mail club. That will probably be a next week stream. You know, I got plenty of stuff to do right now. So we are in an art-heavy period, and we all benefit from it. I almost canceled stream today, though, because I had really bad tummy cramps. But with the power of anti-pain medicine, we made it through, gang. And we shall survive. However, despite that, I am still being betrayed by the people who call themselves my friends, even though they are actually a bunch of memey assholes who betray me on a daily basis. Make me the butt of their fucking jokes. Can you believe this shit, chat? Can you believe this shit? Can you believe? Star streams are so chaotic, yet calm at the same time in the best way possible. I am glad you think so. I am doing my best here to get some work done and just have a nice little time, you know? Just have a nice little time. We are simply vibing. And you know, I've been in a good mood recently. Despite how this stream started, I have been in a good mood recently, so... I just wanna, you know, come on stream, we hang out, we do some draws. Draw some sillies. But yeah, I have been working on... So I think I talked about this at some point in a past stream, but I've been working on a new weekly schedule. And it has been working so far. I actually posted a picture of it on Blue Sky. I have like an actual physical schedule hanging over my desk. And I've been trying to keep to it, and I've been at it for about a week, and I feel like it has been helping. Because I've been feeling a little down about my level of productivity recently, which is something that my friends might find shocking, knowing how much I work, but the thing is, it's just like, I have the type of just brain issue, whatever you want to call it, where if I have a task that I know needs to be done, my brain will like fixate on that task and be like, hey, you have to do this task. This is a task, you have to do it. This is a thing that you must get done, and you're gonna linger on it, and you're gonna think about it, and you're just gonna sit and think about it. It's gonna occupy your thoughts like 24/7 until it gets done. My brain is like that constantly. Until the task, whatever it is finished, my brain is just a constant echo chamber of do the task, you have tasks to do your tasks, or else you're gonna forget you have to do the tasks. And you know, on the one hand, this is helpful because it helps me, you know, like remember shit, and it helps like keep the pressure on so I remember to do shit, but the problem, chat, the problem is that I always have tasks. Which means that my brain never shuts up. It is constantly going, oh my god, things, you should be doing things. Oh my gosh, you have things to do. Oh my god, things need to happen. You need to be doing things. You need to be doing things right now. Things need to be happening, and you need to be doing things. Why aren't you doing things? And then I stop whatever I'm doing and I go do tasks. But because I always have tasks, it's just constant. It's like, hey, remember this thing? Remember this thing? What about this other thing? What about this other thing? What about this other thing? That's another thing. And you need to go to the store, and you need to pack orders, and you need to do this thing for your YouTube channel, and you need to draw this, and you need to do this, and hey, have you ever thought about doing this? And you ever do this, and you ever do this? literally 24 hours of my fucking day is spent with my brain doing that. So this might not be helpful for everyone, but what I have found is helpful for me is a few years ago. Okay, so I'll give you guys a smaller example, a more focused example. Have you ever considered ADHD? I am everything but officially diagnosed. I feel like at this point a diagnosis would just be a formality and a waste of gas money, frankly. It's like everybody knows, and it's just, why should I drive to the doctor's office just for them to tell me what I already know, you know, right? So I will give you an example. Yes, I know the corn man is back. Don't give him attention. He thrives off of it. And so a few years ago, I used to do comic pages in batches. And so what I would do is I would take a batch of like 8 pages, because, you know, I would do 2 pages a week, 4 weeks in a month. And so I would do like 8 pages a month on average. And so what I would do is I would know that every single month I have to finish 8 comic pages. And so what I would do typically is I would spend a few days just sketching all 8 pages. And then I would ink all 8 pages. And then I would color all 8 pages. And that process would take me like a month to do. And that worked for me for a little bit. Like, that was my process. But then as soon as that batch was done, my brain would go, okay, you finished that batch, but now you have to start the next batch or else you're gonna fall behind before next month. And what it led to was basically, if I wanted to draw, my brain would constantly default to, you have comic pages in process, you need to be drawing comics, you cannot draw anything else, it is time to work on comics now. If you have time to draw, you must do comics. And so it got to a point where I was like constantly thinking about comics, and it was like every single time I sat down to draw, I would end up working on comics instead, and it was like all I was drawing and it was killing me. And so what I ended up doing, after observing this behavior and realizing, hey, this maybe isn't the best way to work, I put it in my schedule that Monday and Tuesdays are my comic days. I will finish 2 pages a week every week, because it's like, you know, I post 2 pages a week, therefore I will finish 2 pages every week. And I will dedicate that to doing Mondays and Tuesdays. Mondays and Tuesdays are my comic days. If it bleeds over a little bit into Wednesday, it's fine. But Monday, Tuesday are the days I work on comic, and that is basically all I work on. And on other days of the week, if my comic work is done, then I do not think about comics anymore. And I do not have to think about comics again until the following week. And that helped so much, like unironically, completely sincerely, just the simple matter of blocking out a specific time frame for when I have to do XYZ thing, in this case, draw comics, it basically took those things off my eternal list of tasks. Because in my brain, I would go, oh, I need to do comics. No, I don't need to do comics because it is not Monday or Tuesday. I do comics on Mondays and Tuesdays. And so it is not Monday or Tuesday, therefore I do not work on comics today. And I've kept up with that schedule for a couple of years now, and it has worked incredibly well. And so what I've started doing, as of like a week ago, was, hey, I'm not really happy with my productivity in a lot of other areas of my life, and also my list of tasks is freaking me the fuck out. And it's making my brain do things that are unhealthy. And so what I did was I just figured out a schedule where I'm just like, okay, what if I just block out everything that I do and pick certain days when I work on those tasks? Maybe that will free up my brain enough that I do not think about those tasks on other days. And it ended up that that is what I did, and it has already been paying big dividends, and my brain is so much cleaner now, and I've only been doing it for like a week. And it's awesome. And so today was my admin day. So Monday and I'll run you guys through my schedule. Mondays and Tuesdays. You mean to tell me you thought this up a week ago? Yeah. Because I was on a phone call with my mom, and I was like, I really want to finish my D&D video, but I feel like I have no time to work on it. And then my brain just went, what if I just made time? What if I just block out a specific day in my schedule? But then I was like, but if I block out time in my day in my week for working on the D&D video specifically, what's to stop me from doing other things during that time instead? Okay, what if I just take everything that I do and just give that a day, give everything its own specific time and day? And so that's what I did. And so Monday and Tuesday are comics. My main focus is comics, and when I am done with my comics for the week, then I can do other things if I want to, but I am not obligated to. Wednesday is my admin day, and what admin day is just kind of various tasks. I have a list of admin tasks. It's like packing shop orders, going through my emails, prepping for streams, doing chores around the house, scheduling stuff for social media, writing and scripting videos if I need to, comic upkeep, which is like scheduling pages to go out in advance, exporting everything, all that, just all the behind the scenes stuff, and then shorts editing. And those are kind of in order of priority, right? I posted a picture of my schedule on Blue Sky. Let me go find it actually, because then I can talk about this a little bit more effectively. Here we go. Copy image. So here, I will show you guys my beautiful schedule. This is my beautiful schedule that hangs on the wall above my desk. So Monday and Tuesday are my comics days. I focus purely on comics, and once I am done with my comics, then I don't have to do anything else. I can do other things, but only if I want to, and if I'm tired, then I don't do anything else. It just kind of depends on how much energy I have that day. Wednesday is my admin day. Admin day is all this stuff. So for example, today, I packed orders, I checked my emails. When I was done packing orders, I did some Kickstarter stuff. I ordered prints and stickers for Kickstarter fulfillment, because that's a big old task that's on my list right now, is getting all my ducks in a row for the Kickstarter fulfillment. After that, my brain was fried, and so I was like, I need to not look at computer. And so I went to the post office and I dropped off all the orders that I packed this morning, and then I went to the grocery store. And those all fall under house chores. Whoa. So Thursday and Sunday are my kind of variable days, because every other Thursday we have D&D, and then also every other Sunday we have D&D, and that takes most of my day. So Thursday, I either play D&D or that becomes D&D video workday. So we don't play our Thursday game this week, which means that tomorrow I will just work on the D&D video all day. All day tomorrow I will be working on the D&D video, and I won't feel bad about it. And then Friday is my YouTube day. Because the process for my next video is these images, I will probably just I'll probably still schedule a stream for Friday anyway, just so I can finish off the last bits of these arts. But then earlier in the day, I finished the script for my October video, and so I will probably like record my October video tomorrow, the voiceover for it. I have an ad to write that I need to do for my October video, so I will probably work on that tomorrow. Just tomorrow is YouTube tasks, right? Just whatever YouTube related tasks I have to do, I will probably do that on Friday. And Friday is just for YouTube. I don't do anything else on Friday. That is just YouTube related tasks. Saturdays, I do whatever the fuck I want. Depending on how tired I am from the previous week, I might do fucking nothing. Or I might poke at other things if I really feel like it. But I have no obligations on Saturday is the important thing. And then Sunday is kind of the same. Sunday, every other Sunday I have D&D. So this week we do have Sunday D&D. So I'll probably like do a little bit of admin stuff in the morning. and then just veg out after D&D. But then if I have no D&D on Sunday, then Sunday is also an admin day, like all day. And so that's usually like, you know, packing orders again, preparing, like making my thumbnails for the upcoming streams for the week. I do my dishes, I do my laundry, all that jazz. And so that is my schedule, and I've been doing it for about a week now, and so far it has been paying massive dividends, and my brain is it's just a lot quieter right now. Does doing this help you avoid getting burned out at all? I mean, the long-term effects I have yet to see, because like I said, I only started this like a week ago. But when I started doing this specific thing for the comic, it was like 2 years ago, and it helped immensely, because on days when I did not have to do specific tasks, it just took them out of the brain circulation. I was just like, because usually it was just a free-for-all. Like, I would do my comics on Mondays and Tuesdays, but then the rest of the week was a free-for-all of just like everything was fighting for my attention always. It was kind of a nightmare because there was no good way to prioritize things. But now I've like sectioned it out so that every task has a specific day of the week that I do it on. And unless it, like, you know, highest priority stuff gets done on those days, and if not everything on my list that gets done, then it's fine, and I'll just wait for my next, like, admin day or my next YouTube day. If I really, really need to adjust the schedule because I have, like, a tight deadline or something, I can. But most of the time, just to keep up a daily basis type thing, it has already, like, hugely been helpful. So, again, something that works for me. It might not work for everybody. But I know that I lost a lot of, like, stability in my workflow when I switched to doing freelance full-time. And so this is just kind of my way of bringing some of that stability back. And it has been working so far, so. A big part of this job is just figuring out what works for you and then committing to it, right? And for me, blocking out specific days for specific thing has been helping very much. And I hope that it continues to help. Yippee, etc. Way too blushy, but I'm just going to turn down the opacity a little bit. It's fine. I started using a similar system for 2 days, and so far my admin day has gone swimmingly. Heck yeah! I encourage everybody to try and, like, keep up a schedule, especially if you do the kind of stuff like I do. Like I said, it might not work for every single person, but part of, you know, living with ADHD and stuff like this is figuring out what works for you and then committing to doing that thing. But, like, it doesn't have to be something that you force yourself into. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work, right? Like, I experimented with a lot of different types of schedules and ways of doing things. And it took me a while to find exactly what worked. But I did finally find it through lots of trial and error and experimenting. And I am happy with what I have now, and hopefully it continues to work. And if at any point it starts to not work, then I will just adjust it until it needs to get done. You know? Finally tackled that stack of papers on my desk. Heck yeah! And, like, I went to the store today because I was out of a few things, and normally I'd, like, wait until the last possible moment to go to the store, because I hate going to the store. But today, I was like, well, I need to get out of the house, and my brain hurts, so I want to not stare at the computer. I might as well go ahead and go to the store. And so I went to the store, and now I have food in my house, and it's awesome. I get to have muffins for breakfast tomorrow. And I bought myself some popsicles because I've gotten in the habit of buying myself a little treat whenever I go to the grocery store. Because I hate going to the grocery store, but I know that if I get a little treat, then I'll have a little treat for going to the grocery store. And I do like having a little popsicle treat. Last time I went to the store, I got, like, strawberry ice cream with little cookies in it. little cookie pieces. And this time I got like fruit-flavored popsicles. And now I get to eat those because I was a good person. I was a good girl and I went to the store. It sounds so stupid, but listen, you have to find ways to reward yourself. Ice cream is tasty. The excitement for the muffins, though. What I am worried about is I usually go to the store like really early in the morning because there's nobody else around. And this time I didn't. And so the only flavor of my usual muffins they have, I get muffins from the bakery at my grocery store. And usually they have like chocolate muffins or banana nut muffins or the blueberry muffins. And I like them all. Oh, and like chocolate chip muffins. And those are all kind of like equal in my mind. Whenever I get tired of one, I just swap out for a different flavor, or I just kind of like look at the options and I pick which one I'm feeling that day. However, of all the flavors, the blueberry ones are the most dangerous. Because see, here's the thing, gang. I don't know what is going on with the blueberry muffins at my grocery store specifically, but they have been known. So here's the thing. These little muffins that I buy from my grocery store bakery come in batches, like they come in a box of 4. And it's not every time. Not every box of muffins does this happen. But I would say like every 1 in 5 muffins, blueberry muffins specifically, that I get from the store, does cause, we'll call it some intestinal distress. So, you know, like 1 in 5 muffins, and they're sold in boxes of 4. So not every time I buy the blueberry muffins does this happen. But about 20% of the time that I eat one of these blueberry muffins, bad things happen. And so, you know, I've started avoiding the blueberry muffins. Because I'm just like, I might be allergic to blueberries or something. I don't know, but I'm only allergic sometimes. I don't know why this happens. But no, it's not that like they're baked wrong or something. It's literally only the blueberry muffins. This has never happened with any other flavor of these muffins at the same bakery. It's just the blueberry ones. And so I'm thinking that it's probably a problem with the blueberries, right? But you know, 80% of the time they're fine. And you know, when they're not fine, then my tummy hurts for a little bit and then it's fine. It's not like it does long-term lasting damage. I'm just like, oh, well, that's unfortunate. And I'm laid up for like an hour or 2 and then it's fine. And you wonder why lactose intolerant people can't resist dairy products. Listen, I don't even like the blueberry muffin ones that much. I actively avoid them unless they are the only other flavor. I would prefer the chance of having my muffins make me a little sick than to not have muffins at all. But also, if I have other options for muffins, then I will take the other options. So I don't know if that's the best comparison. Anyway, so I bought a box of 4 blueberry muffins, and we will see. It's like playing Russian roulette with your lower intestine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Jinx is using her Canadian slang on me again. How dare you? How dare you do this? Then what's your favorite muffin flavor? I am partial to the chocolate chunk flavors that they have. I like the little chocolate pieces, and it's usually just enough sweetness to just like start my day off on a good foot. I like the chocolate ones, but they only had the blueberry ones today, and I was very disappointed. I said, this is why I don't come to the grocery store in the middle of the day. Because all the good flavors are gone. Because other people took them already. What's life if not a little adventure for your intestines? Exactly, exactly. Listen. There was a time when I realized that I was... See, here's why the freaking lactose intolerant thing does not work on me. You can't say it's like, oh, well, now you understand why lactose intolerant people don't eat milk or like will still drink milk even though they know it makes them sick. I'm allergic to fruit snacks. And I haven't had fruit snacks in years because I figured out that it was the fruit snacks that were making my tummy go crazy. My tummy go crazy and get very upset at me. And once I stopped eating fruit snacks, then I stopped having upset tummy like every other day. And so now I don't eat fruit snacks anymore because I know they make my tummy hurt. Just fruit snacks. I am pretty sure it's like the food dye in fruit snacks. I've heard that red 40 is a very common food intolerance that can make people sick. And so I think it's specifically the food dye, but you know, fruit snacks have a lot in them. So artificial flavorings and all that. Yeah, red 40 is like the one that... So I specifically think it's red 40 because I discovered this. I remember I was at a convention with my good pal Sarah, and on our way there, she took me to a local donut shop in Atlanta. And I got a red velvet donut because it sounded tasty, and Sarah said that they were really good. And you know, I know the red velvet is usually made with like beets or something. But like this weird random little non-chain donut place, I am willing to bet that they probably put some food dye in their red velvet donut mix. And that red velvet donut did come back to haunt me in a very vicious way, like 4 hours later. That one did wreak some havoc, and I was very sick for like 45 minutes. And so at that point, Sarah was like, Star, I wonder if you're allergic to this specific type of red food dye that's very common. And I was like, you know what, maybe. And then after I stopped eating fruit snacks, I noticed that I stopped having tummy problems. And I was like, you know what? Probably the food dye. I'm willing to bet. Vomiting is the worst. At the risk of TMI, that was not the issue. Thankfully, no. I have, like, legitimately, I haven't thrown up since I was, like, a freshman in high school, I think. I have an iron stomach, usually, but apparently a little bit of red food dye, does fuck me up real bad. Like I said, we're going to be polite and we're going to call it intestinal distress. So, you know, if you guys ever get tummy sick after eating fruit snacks, it might be the food dye in the fruit snacks. This has been Lessons with Star. I hope you've all enjoyed. I'm trying to remember if I just said a lie or not. I may have thrown up more recently. Or at least been very sick. But I don't remember. I feel like maybe I have and then I forgot. I'm just gonna do some fun, like, kind of fiery type details back here. Just for funsies. Motion blur, baby. Let's go. Oh, yes. What a cool guy. We love to draw fun little fire effects. Pew pew pew. Aw, yes, that looks sick as hell! Let's go! Motion blur. Yes! 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 I love my cheeky little fire effects. Let's go. Should make this a little bit more purpley. Yes! Yes! The fire effects! Yes! Motion blur! Yes! Rad as hell, my guy. Let's fucking go. Sick! Alright, I will probably come back and screw around with this one a little bit more later. But for right now, I'm gonna call that done. That looks rad as hell. Let's go on to the next one, shall we? Next one, I'm gonna knock Millie out because hers is gonna be real heckin' easy to draw. Because she is wearing just a shirt and shorts, basically. This is the last character I have to... Yes, this is the last character I have to draw from my old web comic. This is Millie. Of the characters that feature in my web comic, she's honestly more of a side character. Of all of the characters that I'm drawing for this video, she featured in the comic the least. But I love her. I love her so much, and I wish she had gotten more screen time. She the best, and I love her. She's one of the few where I can't... I mean, I feel like I guess maybe she has sort of similar energy to Rory, but only in that she's just kind of loud. That's really the only thing they have in common. For those who have not read my old webcomic and do not know this character, her name is Millie. And she is the leader of... She's like the only character of the main cast that is not a psychic in some way. She's a normie. But she is the president of the school drama club that most of the cast is in. And so she pops in from time to time to talk about drama club shit. And she's fun, and I like her. You should have drawn Arson. I don't remember enough about Arson for him to be interesting enough to talk about in my video. Literally all I remember is that his name was Arson, and he's just a guy. Not interesting to talk enough. Not interesting enough to talk about for a few minutes of a video. This music is bumping. Yeah, so part one of this video is going to be mostly like old comic OCs and then a handful of mix-em-ups for variety's sake. Part two will be almost entirely D&D characters. Actually, I think part two is entirely D&D characters. D&D characters or relevant NPCs involved in the backstories for my D&D characters because I love them so much. I just have a bunch of little blorbos that live in my brain, and I love them very, very much. And actually, I've spent the last, like, couple of nights working on a new character who is relevant to one of my other characters' backstories. Just because I have been thinking about her recently. And just, I'm trying to flesh her out a little bit more. And I can't say any more than that. I don't think that she will be relevant before the video comes out. Or, not the video. Well, yes, the video. Her shit will probably not get revealed, before the November video comes out on my channel where I talk about all these characters. So y'all will have to learn about her another time. But you will, trust me, you will. I love her a lot already. But right now, she's a spoiler. She's a spoiler right now. But I love her a lot already. Cast-off character? No. This video that I'm working on will not feature any cast-off characters. And my justification for that is that if people want to learn about the webcomic characters, you can just read the webcomic. And so I want this video, or the series of videos, to focus on characters that I haven't talked about as much, that don't feature in my comic, as just kind of like a primer for, like, when I talk about these punks, this is who I mean. My special little guys. I would say, hey, everybody try to guess what color this character's hair is and stuff before I color her in, but I'm sure that people would cheat, because some people have read my old webcomic, I'm sure. Despite my insistence that you should not read it. Because it is bad. It's not the worst thing in the world, I'm just not very proud of it anymore. I learned a lot from it, but I have better works out now, and I would prefer that people read those, you know? I did not know she had another webcomic besides Cast-Off in the past until now. Yeah, good. Keep it that way. Keep it that way. Again, not the worst thing I've ever done, but very much, like, shaped by the fact that I was very young when I was working on it. I started developing the story when I was still in high school. And you can tell. You can tell. How much development would you say a story needs before starting a comic? However much you think it needs. There's no, like, right answer to that, honestly, because for webcomics specifically, it's gonna vary by person. Right? So, for example, my first webcomic, I just kind of had a couple of loose ideas for, and then I just, like, banged out the script real quick. Spent all summer working on the first chapter, which was only, like, 16 pages. And, you know, I just kind of, like, came up with and added stuff to it. Because the thing about webcomics is they do take a lot of time. And that's a lot of time where your ideas can change, you can come up with better ideas, and so you're not beholden to anything that you make. Right? You know, if you're, like, halfway through a chapter and you think, oh, I actually think the story would be better if it went down this angle, or if it went down this route, you can do that. It's not like you have an editor who is breathing down your throat and demanding you turn in manuscripts at, like, a certain time of day. Webcomics are just hobbies. Have fun with it. If you feel like you want to start, then you can start. If you feel like you want to wait a little longer, then you can wait a little longer. But I would encourage folks that if you are scared, just start with something small. Like, come up with a little side story in the universe you think you want to tackle. And just do that first to get in the rhythm of it. Like, to learn various things about making comics. Because, you know, like, testing the waters, testing stuff, trying stuff out is a good way to figure out if you like something, and also it's a good way, the fastest way to learn is by doing. And the best way to learn is by doing. So, and I've had most of my best ideas while I was actively working on the comic. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've been just, like, working on a page of Cast Off and then having the thought, oh dang, it sure would be cool if this thing happened. And then that's, like, a beloved scene later on in the story, and I just came up with it while I was working on the comic, you know? I was just out here having fun, and then that's what gave me the idea, you know? I feel like you come up with your best ideas when you are actively engaging and doing the thing that you want to be doing. So. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because, like, another thing is, for me, I've been wanting to improve my prose writing. Just, like, writing, you know, like, actual written fiction and stuff. And so I've been kind of practicing a little bit with these, like, D&D things that I've been writing. And they're not written like a book. I'm mostly just kind of writing them as practice for, like, just kind of getting words onto paper. But even that's been really helpful. Like, I wrote that thing for Verity's backstory. I wrote that thing about Lapis for, like, their Unveil pages. Just kind of like little character summaries. But even those, I feel like my writing has gotten stronger just by farting around and playing with those. And it's making me want to, like, try written stories more. Even though I'm nervous because I feel like... I feel like my prose writing is not very good. It's one of the many reasons why Cast Off is a webcomic instead. I'm pretty confident with my ability to write dialogue, but I'm not very confident in my ability to weave words together in a satisfying way. And that's one of the reasons why Cast Off is a comic and not a novel. But I have a lot of stories in my brain, and some of them would be easier if I just did them as a written work instead. And so what I'm thinking is maybe someday, eventually, if the desire is ever strong enough, I might try making a light novel. which is like a novel with occasional illustrations and stuff in it, or like little comic inserts. Because, you know, I still want to draw the characters, but comics just take so much time. And I do love comics, like genuinely I do. I never want to stop doing comics. It's just, you know, sometimes it's like you love a story, but comics take so long to do. And you just kind of want to chill and do something that's going to take you a little bit less time. When coming up with characters such as in your Narrative Academy character creation video, how would you say you know when a character is three-dimensional? When/how do you do it? Is it ever intentional? It's always intentional, first of all. It's hard though, because for me, it's like, it's kind of hard to give specific advice because it does kind of come pretty naturally to me. I would say, gosh, how do you even specify that, right? Because it's like, making up characters is hard. But I think that you've fleshed out a character enough when you think about what would XYZ character do in this situation, and it's not what you would do. Because, you know, like, we're making these characters and it's really easy to just fall back on, oh, they would do this, in parentheses, because that's what I would do. And you don't think about it, but that is true. But, like, you know, if you want to focus
is there singing vocals in a contralto key of a baritone sax or a tenor saxophone?
Oh, Endom87, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I have no idea. I have no idea. I just say I'm a contralto because my voice is really low, and I found, like, this video where it was like, hey, if you can sing these notes, you're a contralto. And I'm like, I guess I am then. But yeah, no, genuinely, I have no idea. Thank you for the super chat, though. But yeah, so I mean, you know, as far as developing characters, it's just like, when you think you have a pretty solid grasp of what they would do, in parentheses, and it's not just the same thing that you would do in that situation, then I think you have a decent grasp on that character. And the best way to develop a character for that purpose is, it's kind of what I've been doing with these shorts. If you guys have seen them, I've been doing the, like, questions to help develop your original character shorts. What inspired that was a comment I got that I really agree with very heavily, where it was someone basically says, coming up with characters is just asking yourself questions and thinking about it until you like the answers. And, like, in a way, yeah. And so I think what a lot of people maybe struggle with is just, like, finding the questions to ask. And so I'm just like, okay, well, here's some questions that might help you kind of flesh people out, because it's supposed to, like, jog your brain and get you thinking about your characters maybe in ways that you hadn't before. And a lot of people have already told me that those shorts are really helping, and they've been doing big numbers on Instagram, and so I'm gonna keep doing them. Those are coming out every Friday for the next couple of months. And if you guys ever have suggestions for topics for those videos, like series of questions based on XYZ topic, let me know and I'll add them to my list. Yeah. A lot of good resources out there too. Writing prompts and such will help fleshing out characters as well. Yes, exactly. There is a lot of very good resources out there. I'm not saying that you should only look at mine. I am just saying that there is a lot out there, and those are the methods that I like to use. And you know, everybody's version of like what a developed character is going to be different as well. Because a lot of people love to come up with like the really nitty gritty aspects of their character. Like what's their favorite color? What's their height? What's their favorite food? What's their favorite drink? I almost never come up with that shit. I almost never come up with that. With me, it's always like, I mentally put them into a situation and I think about how they would react. Or I find one of my favorite ways of developing a character is just digging around and finding music that I think suits them. And a lot of times the music will actually help inform the characters a little bit. So like I've found songs where I think, oh man, this song really suits this character. And then I'll think about that song and I'll like dream up, you know, like little animatics and stuff to it. And sometimes doing that has helped inspire scenes in the comic. I love my character playlists. I love my character playlists. It's why I have a whole page on Castoff's website dedicated to character playlists. Chef's kiss. Like, I have a character playlist for all of my comic characters. I also have playlists for all of my D&D characters. I've been working on the Lapis character playlist recently, and I just added a couple new songs to it. I realized, I mentioned this song in my most recent video, actually, about how there is a specific type of character where you could listen to this, where you could put the song Hello My Old Heart by the Oh Hellos on their character playlist and it wouldn't feel out of place. It's very much a song about a person who's like, hey, as long as all we have to do to avoid getting hurt is to not feel anything. And so it's basically like the singer of the song is like singing to their own like heart, is like, hello, my old heart, how have you been? How's it feel being locked away? Stuff like that. It's like, one of the lines in the song is, I know you're empty, you feel so still, barely beating it all, and just stuff like that. And it's very much like, what's that one line, my favorite line? It's like, I can't remember how it starts. Hang on. We're gonna do this and we're just gonna pause it so that I don't get bonked. I just want to look at the lyrics. Yeah, so part of the song is, hello my old heart, how have you been? How's it being locked away? Don't you worry, in there you're safe, and it's true you'll never beat, but you'll never break. And so it's just very much like a song about avoiding feeling things so you don't get hurt. And that is like very much a song that I've used on a lot of character playlists. That is on Ariana's character playlist. That is on Emery's character playlist. However, it is now also, as I was thinking about it last night, also works on Lapis's playlist, but for completely different reasons. And I was listening to that song on repeat for like 30 minutes last night while I was taking my little evening walk around my neighborhood and just like having a thinky think walk. And I'm just like, oh wait, that slaps actually. That's really good for the Lapis playlist, but not for the usual reason. It's on there for a completely different reason than it is on the other two playlists. And I can't explain why. I can't explain why. Lapis's whole thing is that her story is very much like kind of a slow burn, figuring things out, self-discovery kind of story. And I don't want to give it away before those events have actually happened in the campaign, because I don't want my fellow players to see this and get spoiled. Otherwise, I would tell you guys everything. Otherwise, I would tell you everything, but I can't. I can't right now, because I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it. Especially not after our most recent session was so freaking good. And I'm so excited for the next session. We have to wait till Sunday. Ugh, disgusting. Why can't I just play D&D every day and have that be my job, huh? What the fuck? Why isn't that a thing that I get to do? What the F? What the F? Actually, no, I think I'm gonna make that her hair color. Eyes are like kind of a bluish green, I believe. Boop. Then she's got teeths. And she's got like a little hint at the gum line. Wee. And then she has a red shirt and dark pants. There we go. No, I forgot to color her arm in, is what I forgot to do. Millie, my beloved. I love her, Your Honor. She is a delight. She is just a rambunctious drama kid, and we love that for her. And wowie zowie filling in the gaps. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, that is not a good color, but we can change it. Can change it. Can make it better. Stronger. Less funny looking. All right. Okay. Now let's just... I love drawing characters with simple outfits that are easy to draw because it means they take less time. This only took me 20 minutes to get to this point versus this punk who took an hour and a half. Okay. Alright. And now we are going to take all these fun little colors and yeet them into the stratosphere. Because we don't want colors for this next part. Because they are too distracting. We're going to just use simple gray. We're going to color in our shadows with a desaturated purple. And then later on, once we have shaded in all of the areas, we will change the color of the shading. The reason I do it this way is because it is very fast. You don't have to worry about individual color picking as you color. You just block in the areas where shadows will be, and then you pick out your individual colors afterward. Makes it very efficient. Very beautiful. Very powerful. I'm trying to remember where that's from. I've had it stuck in my head, the, like, very beautiful, very powerful, like, quote has been in my head, and I can't remember where I heard it from originally. Like, it must have been a TikTok thing, but I can't remember where it's from. Very beautiful, very powerful. I think it is applicable to lots of things. And it makes me giggle. This guy talking about his fish. Oh, video from Lumpfish on Tumblr. Oh my god, it's about fish. I love that. Very beautiful. Very powerful. I too would describe a fish this way. I am delighted. I love fish. Fish are neat. I would love to have a fish tank, honestly. The one reason that I don't, well, I have several reasons why I don't, but the big reason why I don't is that they seem like, depending on the type of fish, they're really hard to take care of. And I keep seeing videos about people, like, putting together these really complicated fish tanks, and I'm just like, fish, oh, you gotta, like, use a specific type of fish, and people are arguing about what stuff to put in your fish tank, and I don't know what it means to cycle water. Oh. Also, fish tanks make noise. They make a noise like blur, 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 blur. And I don't like it when my house makes noise. I don't like it when there's noise in my house, and if I think that if I had a fish tank that was making noise all the time, I would scream. So I don't have a fish tank in my house. Also, yes, and then also, you know, kitties. Who would commit crimes and eat the fish if given the opportunity. But I had fish growing up. We had multiple little betta fish. They were mostly my brothers, but I would stare at them occasionally. And then we had guppies, and those guppies had so many babies that then immediately died. Because we were not prepared to have, like, we were prepared to have, like, 5 guppies. We were not prepared to suddenly have 50 guppies. And those guppies did get down. Like, you. But no, I like my kitties. I like creatures that don't have to be kept in an enclosure. And they can just live. It's like my kitties. They can just go wherever they want. They have a special box that they poop in. And then the rest of the house is their oyster. And I love that for them. Because it means that when they want something, they can just come bother me about it. They can just scream at me, and then I will give it to them, and that's easy. And also it means that I can cuddle with them. I'm a pet Molly. Oh, sorry, Molly. I didn't mean to startle you. I just wanted to pet this kitten, because she's sleeping over on my little side table. There's a Molly cat sleeping next to me. And I think she is annoyed that I woke her up. I'm sorry, Miss Molly. Were you in the middle of a dream? Oh, she's licking my hand. Hi, baby. Okay, now she's biting me. She does not want to be petted anymore. Betta fish and especially goldfish get the worst treatment of pet fish. People think bettas can't swim and goldfish don't get big enough to eat hands. Both are wrong. Yeah, no, I know goldfish in particular can get really big. But why do people think that bettas can't swim? They're fish! Of course they can swim! They just have the big pretty fins. My brother had several betas growing up. They were all very pretty. And I like the pretty fins. What was really fun was when we learned that, you know, like you can't keep two male betas in the same tank because they will destroy each other. But they don't mind other fish. And so you can put like other fish in a tank with betas. Don't take this as pet advice. I know nothing about fish. I just remember that the people at the fish store told us that and we were like, oh my gosh, let's get several fish. And then we did, and it was cool. We got like, those were where the guppies came from because they were like real little. And they were like, you know, the beta's gonna need X amount of space. But the, you can like put other fish in there as long as they don't take, beta males. Da, 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 da. Very fun joke. But yeah, we got a beta, and then we also got a couple of guppies, and they were friends. Or at least I like to think they were friends. Because we did stick them in a tank together, so hopefully they were friends. Yeah, I would definitely not consider myself an expert or anything, but I just think it's funny that a lot of the reasons why I know, you know, some common misconceptions about like certain types of fish is because I followed an artist. I still follow her, but she doesn't post very often. I follow an artist who used to work at a pet store and would occasionally like on Tumblr reblog things about fish care. And so I just picked up some random facts about fish care because I follow this one artist on TikTok who talked about fish care all the time. So I'm just like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna own this type of fish, but I know I have approximate knowledge of some things I would need to do to take care of it. And honestly, weirdly, that is like my favorite way to do research for things. 'Cause like, okay, I've talked about this in the past that, I don't especially enjoy doing like sitting down and doing a ton of research for like a story or whatever. I would much prefer, rather than like skimming Wikipedia and just trying to pick up knowledge, I would much rather do my research in a more practical way of just like talking to people and seeing what people say about like XYZ things. And you know, sometimes there's only so much you can do about that. Like I remember when I was doing, I think chapter 9 was the chapter where like Marina had to find, like had life jackets for the boat. I did at some point have to Google like what old-timey life jackets looked like. And that I'm not gonna get help with from a blog. But a lot of the psychology stuff that is relevant in Cast-Off, I learned from like weird sources. Cast-Off is very heavily inspired by a lot of like stuff I learned in my color theory class in college. And also I learned a lot about like some of the stuff that I was writing for chapter 12. A lot of the shit that's relevant for chapter 12, I just picked up because I watched a lot of TikToks just like coincidentally about people talking about their issues and like talking about is like, yes, this is an issue that is relevant to me and this is how I deal with it and this is how it makes me feel. You know, like first person perspectives types of things. You know, I feel like, you know, sometimes you do just have to look something up on like Wikipedia or whatever. But I have always found that research sticks with me more if I am learning it from a direct source, you know? And so, like, a lot of the more emotional, like, psychology-based things in Cast-Off, a lot of them are based on my own personal experience, and a lot of them are based on just, like, talking to my friends. And, like, just listening to people be honest about their experiences and absorbing that and putting that into my work. Like, I'm trying to, you know, not I'm trying to step lightly because I know that like some people are not caught up on the comic. But But like I myself do not struggle with like chronic depression, thankfully. That is not something that I have issues with. I do like experience it sometimes, but not to a point where I need to get a doctor involved or anything. But you know, like there's in chapter 12 right now with Castoff, like Nico, and what he is kind of going through was very heavily based off of like me talking to my friends and like listening to them talk about their own experiences with like depression and how, because you know, when you think depression, the common misconception is that depression just feels like sadness, like just being sad all the time. But you listen to people talk about how they experience like depression and things like that, and they say that like it's pretty common for people to say it doesn't feel like you're sad, it feels like nothing. And so that, like, you know, I've heard that multiple times throughout my life because I've had a lot of friends who have experienced that kind of thing, and they've talked to me about it, and they've like talked to other people about it. And I'm like, I've had friends drag me to their therapy sessions to like help them talk through shit. And so I've learned like so much about this kind of stuff just from like listening to people who have those experiences. And I have had people tell me that like it hits really hard in Castoff specifically because like a lot of it comes from personal experiences, and I want to make it, you know, like something that people can relate to. And I feel like it has made my writing stronger, you know, like taking something, even if it's not something that I can relate to, finding people who can relate to it and listening to how they talk about it. Sometimes you just need a real person to tell you how it is. Yeah, exactly. And so like I spend a lot of time just like scrolling through TikTok idly, and I've learned like so many things about like how different people perceive the world just by listening to how people talk in like their videos and talking about like their mental illnesses and their struggles and how they deal with them. And like that kind of stuff is not something you're going to learn in a psychology textbook. That's not something you're going to learn by looking up like ADHD on Wikipedia. It's listening to how other people talk about it, like clinical definitions of certain things, like scholarly definitions of certain things can help. But like, if you really want something, if you really want to get it on the ground level and really understand something, talking to people who have experienced it is the best way to go. And this is something that I have learned. And it is now my favorite method of research, is just, if you want to learn about how something affects people, just go on TikTok and just scroll for a bit and see how people talk about it and try to like learn and observe and take that stuff in, you know? I don't know, random tangent I just went on, but I was talking to some folks in my spoiler squad, which is like my group of friends who get Castoff pages early, like as soon as I finish them. And one of them brought up is like, I can't wait to hear you talk about all the research you did, because this seems like all the stuff in chapter 11 or chapters 12 and 11 and like all the talk about like emotions and shit. And she was just like, I can't wait to hear you talk about like all the research you did for this, because this seems really accurate and it seems really good. And I'm like, well, if you're expecting scholarly research, you're going to be disappointed, because I really did not do much of any of that. But I did watch a lot of TikTok videos and like listen to my friends talk about their experiences with these certain things. And I would say that that helped way more than like spending hours on Wikipedia ever would have. Depressed can also have an anger element too, which is interesting to see Nico have too. Oh yeah, absolutely. No, like, can I be honest? Like, I really did not do much of any quote unquote scholarly research for chapter 12. Like, everything that is happening in chapter 12 comes from either my own personal experience or hearing people talk about their own personal struggles with their mental health and things like that. Talking about like bottling up emotions and how when you bottle up emotions, it like builds up inside you until there is nothing left to do. And like, I've kind of experienced that a little bit. And I've also like, I've helped friends through that, and I've seen how it affects other people. And so I carried that very much over into how I wrote chapter 12. And it, based on comments, it has been resonating really hard with people. And so I think that A is the cause of B there. And so, you know, just like, I don't have a point for this necessarily, just... Well, here, we'll circle it back. If you want to develop characters, making them feel like people is a good place to start. And people have a lot of shit going on. I've kind of just like taken up this motto recently. It's like, everybody's got something. Everybody's got something. Like, no, I don't know. This might sound silly. But this is just something that I've been thinking about. And it's just like, you know, they always say it's like, oh, neurotypical people don't understand. I don't know if there is such a thing as a neurotypical person. I think that everybody has a little bit of something to some degree. Whether or not you have the words to put to it is an entirely different matter, though. Because, like, you know, when my parents were growing up, we didn't have a lot of the vocabulary that we have now. And so sometimes when my parents talk to me and my brother about like, oh, well, you know, when we were your age, we had these problems and we just ignored it. And I'm like, okay, but I can see how that affected you because now I'm an adult and I can psychoanalyze my parents a little bit. And y'all definitely got some stuff to work about. You've just never like done anything about it. I think neurotypical is a spectrum too. Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I'm not trying to say that like, oh, everybody actually has ADHD. Everybody actually has like something. I'm just saying that like, you know, there's variances to the types of somethings that everybody has. And not everybody's gonna have everything. Obviously. But I feel like every person has like a little bit of something, you know? At least, like, I'm willing to be proved wrong on this, but I feel like there's so many ways that a person can be. I almost, like, I don't know. As long as you're not implying that everyone is a little autistic, because, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying not everyone is autistic. I'm saying that probably everybody's got a little bit of something, whether it's autism or ADHD or like anybody here. Like there's so many ways the brains can be, right? And like the amount that you have it or like the severity of it can vary significantly. I do think there are a lot more people with ADHD or autism that are who just haven't noticed it. Yeah, that's part of it too. It's like, I didn't think that I was ADHD. I just thought that's how my brain worked. And then people started saying, oh no, that's not a quote unquote normal thing. It's like, that's actually a symptom of something. It's like, that's, you can like get tested for that. And I was like, what? And I didn't learn that until like 2 years ago. And so it's just like, I feel like there is, at the very least, if not everybody, I feel like a lot of people have something going on. And like, maybe they just don't have the words for it, or maybe they just think that it's normal. But like, it's kind of a similar thing with like how I always kind of knew I was asexual, even though I didn't know what the word was. Right? It's just like, I grew up thinking people can't actually think that way, do they? Surely I am not the strange one here. And then, no, it turns out that like, I kind of was. I don't know, maybe I'm not articulating this very well, but I just think that like, I think that a lot more people are less neurotypical than they think, and they just don't have the words to identify it yet. And that's kind of part of why I think we're seeing so many more people get diagnosed with like ADHD and autism and like all these other mental illnesses, quote unquote, is not because they're just suddenly materializing, it's that people suddenly know how to explain it, you know? Because they're like, it's like, It's the sudden realization of, oh, there's a name for that, not, oh, this thing just suddenly exists now. It's not the thing that suddenly exists, you just didn't have the words for it until now. You know? I've seen people in their 80s get diagnosed. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a different... It's just a thing that I've been kind of bouncing around in my head recently. And you guys can feel free to disagree with me and, like, kind of argue with me on these points, because this is my first time, like, actually, you know, communicating it with anybody. And so, you know, I'm willing to be proven wrong here. I think it's an interesting thing to think about. You know? It's just, I lost my train of thought is what I just did. But I just remember, like, even when I was young, we didn't have a lot of the words to define things the way we do now. And I hear people say, it's like, oh, well, when I was a kid, it's like, you know, when we were kids, we didn't have autism, we didn't have ADHD, that's just the way things were, and we just sucked it up and dealt with it. It's like, okay, yeah, but now we have words to define things. And they can be helpful. You know, I don't know. We all got our spectrums, we just gotta find which one. That's probably a good way of putting it, yeah. Everybody's got something, I think. Everybody's a little something. Mayhaps. There's also a lot more people explaining their own internal experiences with neurodivergence, so that might help people understand themselves better than clinical outside perspectives. Yes, exactly. That is also a very good way to put it. Because it's like, I would have never thought that I was ADHD, because whenever you talk about ADHD in like a clinical thing, like my mom's a teacher and she always, like, you know, I grew up with her telling me about like the kids in her class that were extremely ADHD and how they were like bouncing off the walls constantly. And I was like, whoa, I'm not like that. It's like, oh, that's not me at all. I can sit at a desk just fine. But like, there's different levels to ADHD and there's different ways it can manifest. And I very much have the way that it manifests where I just can't fucking sit and do a single task at one time because my brain is constantly going 1,000 miles an hour. Like, I am going 1,000 miles an hour. It's just all in the brain space. And I had never heard it described that way. And so I never would have thought that it applied to me until someone explained it. It's like, oh, no, that makes sense, actually. Oh, there's other ways that, oh my God. And then it kind of clicked, you know? I guess, like, yeah, you can just kind of bring it around to how I was talking about, like, doing research earlier. It's like, yeah, clinical definitions of things can get you so far, but, like, actually listening to people talk about their experiences, I think, in general, is going to be more effective in general, right? Ugh. I don't know. Interesting conversations. Just want to say thank you, Star, for this convo. You're cool. Oh, thank you. I do my best. I just, you know, I've been, like, thinking about stuff a lot recently. And it's just, you know, people are different. Like, everybody's so different. But in a lot of ways, people are all really similar. And kind of figuring that out and using that as a way to empathize with people and kind of try and understand their struggles a little better, I think is a good thing to do. I think it is a positive and productive thing to do, to be a little bit empathetic to everybody who crosses your path and try to understand people a little better, even if you don't necessarily relate to what they're going through. You know? That's the moral, I guess, if we wrap it up in a little bow for the end of this conversation. Do your best to have a little bit of empathy for the folks in your life. And even for the folks who aren't in your life. Everybody's going through something. Everybody's got something that's bothering them or giving them issues. Everybody's experience is different, but that doesn't mean that we're so different we can't relate to one another, you know? think we should always try to empathize with people and understand their struggles even if it's not something that we necessarily understand. Try to understand it. And, like, try to be empathetic with people. And just try to be patient. Love thy neighbor, etc. And just, you know, acknowledge that there is room in the world for so much. This got really meta. But I don't know. I don't talk about big stuff like this in my videos very often because I feel like sometimes it can get really contentious if people don't give you the grace of nuance. But I do think it's interesting to talk about, you know? Just about done with this Millie here. Praise be, her outfit is so easy to draw. It is a shirt and pants. I love drawing a character when their outfit is just shirt and pants because they are so fast and easy to draw and it makes my life easier. Here's my music going off. Guard uniforms be like, listen. I gave them easy to draw outfits because I have to draw them so much. Makes your outfits easy to draw. Okay. I'm going to take a real quick bathroom break now that I'm finished this character. And when I come back, we will start on the next one. But I gotta go to the bathroom, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Why are you guys causing chaos in my chat? Jared Sadewater, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you. Why are we talking about muffins again? What are y'all doing? Oh boy. I don't know what you guys are up to. Occupying chat in your absence? Oh boy. Anyway, next character. Look at the baby! Look at the baby! Oh! I beheaded the baby temporarily. This is one of the few characters in this video that is not a webcomic or D&D character. I recycled her for a D&D NPC, but she herself is not originally from either of those things. I think I made her torso a little too long, so I'm gonna fix it real quick. This is my baby. Her name is Nia, and I love her. She's pretty. She's got the fluffy skirt. What is she from? She's kind of from nothing. She is just a character. I was gonna use her in a, I had an idea for a comic I was going to use her in at some point. I had an idea for one. But I never ended up making it, and now it's just kind of on the back burner forever. But she's cute and I like her. I used her as I recycled her, made her an NPC in our D&D game, and she's a nerd. I'm telling Lapis and Verity you're cheating on them. No! She's not a D&D character. I recycled her to be one because I made her a librarian in our D&D universe. Because I didn't feel like coming up with a new character. And I thought it would be funny. She is old. I'm not cheating on Lapis and Verity with her. She existed long before them. She existed long before these two. She is their ancestor, if anything. Came up with her back in like 2018. A librarian? Dawn is in your D&D campaign? I think this was before I even knew who Dawn was.
Mother, am I not your baby though?
Vector. I can have multiple babies, Vector. You are one of many. Don't make it weird. Do you have old drawings ever? Yeah, a couple, and I'm gonna be showing them in the video when it eventually comes out. And I will kind of talk about like her story and what she's from and stuff like that.
But Mother, am I your favorite?
Vector, I don't choose favorites. That's not how this works. Yeah, so the origin story for this character is that, so Forbidden Star lore, old Forbidden Star lore, forbidden is a strong word, but it's just like something that I don't really talk about anymore. And most folks probably don't know about this. I was, for a very brief amount of time, a member of a cosplay dance cover group. And, back in the day, this was all in like the pre-COVID times. And so there was one point where instead of just doing like cosplays from specific anime or whatever, we decided to branch out and like each come up with our own little original characters, and each character was based on like a different fairy tale and stuff. And so my character was actually the narrator, like kind of the platonic ideal of the omnipresent narrator, but squished into a character. And so I've actually cosplayed this character. She existed as a cosplay for me well before she existed as like a comic character or a D&D character, etc. But yeah, so I was not involved with that project for very long. I eventually left the dance group for a variety of different reasons. And so then I was like, well, I still like this character that I made for it, though. So what can I do with her? And so then I started thinking about, like, story ideas and all this kind of stuff. And yeah. Slightly unrelated, how close are you to finishing the Tiefling Rainbow? I have not come up with any new Tieflings since the last time this question was asked of me. So the answer is exactly as... Oh, how the fuck do you draw a feather shape? What does a feather look like? She's got like little feathers on her hat. The Tiefling Rainbow is exactly as complete as it was the last time I was asked this. You have a yellow Tiefling yet? So I have a Tiefling who's kind of like a yellowish orange, and I'm not sure which color he should qualify under, but I also only played him for a one-shot. And so he doesn't have a whole lot of lore. And I'm not sure if he should qualify for the rainbow or not, if that makes sense. He's cute, though. He's cute, though, and I do like him. I don't know if I have any art of him, though. I know I drew exactly one picture of him, but it was on my iPad, so I don't know if it's saved on my computer. This was pre-Verity, so we have to go back further. Not that far. It looks like it is not saved to my computer, so I can't pull it up on stream. But you know what? I bet it's in here. I bet, no? Did I never? No. Well, shit, I guess I didn't. I thought I had posted it in friend chat, and I did a search of his name and it didn't pop up, so I guess I hadn't. Huh. I know I had posted that art though, but I don't have time to go digging that deep. I love your voice, it's so calming. Oh, thank you! I do my very best. This is just how I talk. But I always worry that my voice is obnoxious, so I do appreciate the compliments. Yippee-ki-yay. I keep thinking that maybe I should do, like, a pseudo ASMR stream. Like, not one of those really obnoxious ones where people are, like, tapping on shit and whispering, but they're, like, stage whispering, and so I hate that shit so much. But just, like, one of these days, maybe I'll do a just chatting stream where I just kind of, like, talk quietly. Because, you know, like, just kind of like this. Just quiet, closer to the mic than usual, but just kind of, you know, calming. We could just have conversations. I don't know, I think maybe at some point that would be nice. I've scooted closer to my mic, so I'm just gonna stay here now. But no, my, What does she do in the comic you got her in? So, the way I kind of, made her into a comic character was I gave her just kind of like vague soft magic system, magic power rules. Basically the way it works is that she's kind of like this storyteller type of character, and the way I wanted her to operate was that she can physically enter the story of like any book that she has access to. And so in the comic I came up with that I was going to do for her, it was just like a little one-shot, like a little short story, where she like finds this book that's been damaged and like the back half of the book is missing. And so she like goes into the story and like interviews all the characters in it and kind of acts as like a pseudo therapist for like the characters in the book. And then she finds out somehow that like the book originally had a really tragic ending, and so she kind of helps the characters kind of work through their stuff and then gives the book a happy ending instead. That was kind of the idea that I had for like this little short one shot, but I never actually like developed it enough where I was happy with it. But you know, it's just like a little idea that I had in my brain, and I still like the character. I think she's cute. And I think the concept of her abilities is interesting. The Book Wanderers. Yeah, I was like, I'm sure that that concept has been done before. I've just never read any specific stories of my own, or I personally have never read any specific stories that like do that kind of thing, but like, it's not the most original idea in the world, but I thought it was interesting and I would have played with it in different ways. Love to read that, and I won't lie. I mean, like, maybe if there's renewed interest from it after I talk about it in the video, then I'll think about, like, trying to do something with it, but for right now, it's just kind of living on the back burner. I think I'm in a better mental place to tackle that kind of thing now than I was, like, 4 or 5 years ago when I first came up with the idea. So that might also help. How do you come up with these concepts? They break into my brain, and they just scream at me and do not leave me alone, a bit like a cat who wants breakfast. They come to me unbidden in times when I should really be doing just about anything else, and they refuse to let me ignore them until I have done something about it. But yeah, I kind of had her as like this archivist, like owner of a bookstore type deal, but she also worked in book restoration, but her specific version of book restoration was go physically into story and solve the problems. Rather than just like put new paper in book, etc. She's got terminal Blorbo disease. I do. It's terminal. There is no cure. I just have too many cute little guys living in my brain, and I must scream about them at all hours, or else I will die. Which is why I started a YouTube channel, so that I could scream about the little guys in my brain. Jay could tell you guys so many stories of the times that I've just busted into his DMs completely unprompted and was like, hey, guess what? Blorbo thoughts. And I just said a bunch of shit at him. I'm like, I've got lore. They come to me like a prophet receiving visions from an angry god. Yes, basically. I was trying to remember that quote, but I couldn't think of it off the top of my head. But it's not inaccurate. It's why it's so hard for me to give specific advice on, like, coming up with a story or coming up with characters, is because it's like, I don't choose to come up with them most of the time. They just appear and refuse to go away. Oopsie doodles. I have characters and I must scream as a shared trait. Oh yeah, it's a problem that myself and many of my peers have experienced. Although, you know what I will say, actually, kind of on the topic of original characters. So there's been a video idea that I've had kicking around in the back of my head for a really long time. To the point where I even kind of sort of started scripting it, but I wasn't really feeling it, and so I just kind of put it on the back burner for a little while. But I've actually... And chat, this is serious. I'm not joking. I'm being serious here. I've been doing an experiment for several months now. I wasn't super conscious of, like, I am doing this to gather data. I was just kind of doing what I was feeling, and then I started seeing results, and I was like, oh, interesting. I should note down these results, because it's kind of like an unintentional experiment, and you guys are all involved. Because I'm doing the experiment on you guys. There's a video I've been wanting to make for a little bit where I talk about how to make people care about your original characters. And, you know, like when you have a story that's like a comic, when the story is out there and you can actually like read it, that's one thing. But when you're, say, just kind of working on some kind of project and you have these characters in your head and you just want to share them with people, even though like maybe their story is a work in progress or people love their original characters, and it can be frustrating when other people do not care about your original characters as much as they care about like Spider-Man or whatever. And so I have kind of been indirectly doing an experiment where I've been testing, like, how do I make my audience care about my characters, specifically the ones who are not in the webcomic? Because, you know, like I said, if people want to learn about the cast-off characters, they could just read the comic and get their emotional attachment to the characters that way, because their story is out there and is easy to form an emotional attachment to because it's right there. But with like random OCs on the internet, like people love their original characters. I am guilty of this. And you want other people to care about them too and give you likes on Instagram and all this jazz. But a lot of times people will just like don't care as much about original characters, and original character artwork does not perform as well as say artwork that's fan art. Because people don't have the emotional connection with an artist's original characters. And so I was kind of wanting to make a video about that topic. Is like, how do you make people care about your original characters for social media purposes or otherwise? And so I've been kind of doing an experiment, testing like what works and what doesn't, in my experience. Because I've been posting about my D&D characters and their stories and things like that. And I've been talking about them in streams, and I've been talking about them in videos, and I've been drawing them and stuff like that. And in my experience, I'm kind of like learning where the emotional attachment comes from and learning like how to kind of entice people's interests. And I've been using you guys as my test group. And so my plan is to eventually make a video about my findings and kind of talk about the methodology by which I have been running this experiment, the pseudo experiment. It will not be this year. This will be like my February video at the absolute earliest. But I think it is an interesting topic, and I am very excited to discuss it. Kiwi Studios, thank you for the gifted memberships. I appreciate it. Thank you. 5 gifted memberships. If you just got a membership, make sure to say thank you in the chat. And thank you so much. But yeah, I think it is an interesting topic, and it is one that I am very excited to explore. Talk about. Is that why there have been a bunch of highlighter doodles of Verity and Co? That's one of several reasons. Mostly I just like drawing them because they're fun and I love them. I promised myself if you were streaming, I'd share some love. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Welcome to stream. But yeah, I mean, like I've been doing all my little artworks independently of research for this video. It's more that like, I haven't been posting stuff specifically to gather information for the video. It's more like I have been doing these things to get other people to care about my characters, and then in the process I have learned things, and then I want to share my findings in a video. But no, the D&D Blorbo doodles would have happened regardless. I've been taking them as like, they're 99% for fun, but also I've been using them as an educational opportunity, you know? Like, oh, okay, well, let's see what we can learn from this. Like, for example, really good example. There is no reason that Dave should have a fan base. Like, realistically, there is no reason he should. I've barely drawn him. I've only ever done art of this guy, like, in relation to Lapis. But I have talked about him on stream, and I have made you guys laugh with stories of Dave, And I have given you reason to think about him as a character and be fond of him as a character. But he does not exist in a piece of media. He's not a character from a book or a comic. He's just a guy. But so many people care about Dave, and that is fascinating. And I want to talk about that. So that's kind of where the video is going to focus on. It's like, if I can make a bunch of strangers on the internet care about this dumb little skeleton, what can we learn from how that happened? And how can we leverage it to make people care about the characters that we come up with, whether they are intended for a longer storyline or not? Because like, I follow artists who like post about their original characters all the time. And like, I kind of have a slight emotional attachment to these characters just because I see them posted on my timeline all the time because their creator loves them so much. And that is fascinating to me. And I want to explore that. Because that's cool. How can we use that to our advantage? Like, that's the kind of thing I want to cover. Dave is love, Dave is life. But like, okay, realistically though, from a grand scheme view of things, there is no reason you guys should care about Dave. He's not a member, he's not like a character in an important story that means a lot to a lot of you guys. He's not a character in an existing piece of media. He's a dumb little skeleton from our D&D game who, frankly, almost didn't exist according to our DM. But so many people love Dave. And that is fascinating. So how can we use that? What can we learn from that, and how can we use it? And in general, just for the record, that mindset, what can we learn from it and how can we use it? That mindset specifically is one of the most important tools to have in your holster as an artist or a creator of any kind. The two-pronged fork of how did this happen and what can we learn? Like, that is a multi-tool that will help you so much in life. This feels like a class. Welcome to my channel! I turn everything into a class on purpose or unintentionally. Yippee! We all love sassy vampires, even if they're just a skull in a birdcage. But like, it's so interesting though, because like, okay, some people are just gonna like Dave because he's a vampire and they like vampires, and that makes sense. You see this thing, that is a fact. That is a piece of this character that you can relate to, that you can identify as something that you like, and then that is a reason why you like this character. For those who are unfamiliar, Dave is this disembodied skull of a vampire that my D&D character Lapis adopted. And we talk about him like every stream because it's very funny that he exists. But he kind of sucks, is the thing. He doesn't really do much except for be sassy and try really hard to be evil and fail miserably at it. But like, there's a bunch of different reasons why people would like Dave as a character. Some people will just like him because he is a vampire and they like vampires. Some people will like him because he is pathetic and they like pathetic little guys. Some people like Dave because he's kind of useless and stupid. That's why I like him, for example. Some people like him because he's a skeleton who talks a bit like if Skeletor was a nerd. There's a bunch of different reasons why people would theoretically like this character. And the important thing is, if you want a large audience to relate to a character, even without a story attached, is to give them something to latch onto. Give them something fun to latch onto. And like I've been doing kind of the same like thought exercise with Verity and like Lapis and stuff too, right? Like I've been talking about their stories and like different people like Verity for different reasons. Some people just like her for her design. Like not to toot my own horn too much or anything, but I think that her design is visually very striking. She has like these cool crystal horns. She's like a tiefling. She wears armor. Visually, there is a lot of cool stuff going on with her, and some people will like her just on account of her design. But a lot of people are also into her and enjoy hearing about her because of her backstory specifically. And those people would never have identified with or related to that character if I had never shared her story. But because I shared her story and talked to people about it and like posted about it online and talked about it a lot and talked about her relationship with other characters in relation to her backstory and all this stuff, people have more to find interest in. Like, it's fascinating, and there's so much cool stuff here. And at some point, I'm gonna make a video about it. Because I think it's cool. And I am a total dorcas for this type of thing. I think it's very interesting. One of the reasons that I enjoy, like, farting around on social media so much is the psychological aspect of it. Like, how do you get people's attention? How do you make people care? Maybe just because there are so many different reasons to be attached to him, it's more probable to find one that you like. Exactly. Exactly, though. And so, like, I think a lot of people, what they do is they just post drawings of their OCs, and they never really talk about them in any kind of tangible way. And so, at that point, all you have going for them is the design. And if it's a particularly eye-catching or interesting design, that will work on some people. But you're way more likely to catch more people and get more people interested if you give them more line to grab onto. You know? Molly is grinding her teeth in her sleep. And she just made little kitten mouth sounds. Yeah, I don't know. This is the type of shit that I really geek out about. And like I said, I've been wanting to make a video about this kind of stuff for a long time, but I didn't really have a good way to attack it. But now I came to the realization recently that's like, oh, no, I can use this. I can use this. And so, like, that's also part of the reason why I've kind of been, like, poking around on Unveil more and, like, making more stuff. And like doing more writing is because I want to get more information about the characters out there to see what people latch onto and see what people get interested in. There's my Unveil, by the way. Star has a 5 in AP yapping. Listen. I'm a streamer. I'm a streamer and a YouTuber. We gotta be able to yap at least a little bit if you want success in this field. You gotta learn how to yap. I didn't like that word originally because I only ever heard it as a derogatory thing when someone was trying to be mean to me in my comments. They would be like, what is she yapping about? It's like, this girl yaps too much. They would say on my videos where it's literally just drawing and yapping. It's my entire channel. Why are you even here? But now it's just like, yeah, I yap a lot. And if you've got a problem with it, screw you. It's like that guy who came into my opinion piece about Has-Been Hotel where I talked about stuff I thought that could have been done better. Literally, like, kind of a review and, you know, by definition, an opinionated piece. Guy came into my video where I talked about my opinions and said this would be better if it had fewer opinions. The fuck? Yeah, I mean, you know, I did not used to be good at yapping, but being a streamer and wanting to fill the void, so that people will continue to watch you, it's a valuable skill to have. I aspire to be a professional yapper like you. Well, streaming is a good way to practice. This book has too many words. Yeah, basically. Just like, the fuck are you doing? And if you have a problem with me talking, why are you here? In this place where I do my talking? If you don't like it, then go away. And be gone with ye, I say. You will not survive the winter. And you're no fun. Chapel Roan screaming, you're no fun.mp3. I felt that quote in my soul. If you guys have seen the video of fucking Chapel Roan in concert screaming, it was like, you guys in the audience, you're no fun! I felt that in my fucking soul. I want that, and I need that in a soundboard, I swear. A good bit. But no, it's funny. I'm not usually, like, good at talking. Like, if I'm in an actual conversation, and if okay, so I'll put this in perspective. If I am in a conversation with one person, I can reasonably keep a conversation going pretty well if the person is showing interest in the kind of stuff that I am talking about. And if the person is, you know, conversation, it takes two to tango, it also takes two to have a conversation, right? But a lot of the times, if I am in a conversation with two or more people, I'll just kind of fade into the background, especially if, like, the other two people are really getting along and, like, they have a lot to talk about. I'll just be like, eh, and I'll just kind of shrink into the background a little bit. And that's fine for me because I do like listening, but it means that I kind of have a problem. Like, I'm not very good at keeping up a conversation. The only reason I'm even a little bit good at it for here is because I've had practice just talking to myself, you know? I've been streaming for longer than I have been, like, a YouTuber. And it's just kind of something you get used to. Thou must fill the void, etc. Kind of makes me think that I should do just chatting streams more, but I mean, these are kind of just chatting streams. We are just chatting, in parentheses, and also drawing. You know? Talking to yourself is easy when you're a maladapted daydreamer. Exactly! Literally, part of my morning routine, I wake up, I open all the curtains in my house, I feed the cats, and while the cats are eating their little breakfasts, I pace around my dining room and I talk to myself. It is literally part of my morning routine at this point. And this is why I don't feel like I need a diagnosis to know that I have ADHD. It would be like going to the doctor and saying, "Doctor, I think my hair is brown." Like, no shit, Sherlock. I like that you call them Let's Draw Together stream because it feels like being in the room and chatting and drawing. Yeah, exactly. It's a cozy vibe. And it's like, not everybody's gonna be sitting and drawing with me. But you could be. Let's draw together. Let's draw together. You don't have to also be drawing, but I'm gonna be drawing. And if you wanna, like, sit and draw with me, now you can. I am, heck yeah, people drawing with me, let's go. Let's go. Draw with me. I'm crafting, heck yeah, I'm drawing, I am, yes. 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 Excellent. Oh man. Just kind of circling back to, like, Blorbo thoughts and shit. I kind of want to show you guys some doodles I was doing last night. I think they're really cute. For, like, that character I was telling you guys about. I told you guys I was kind of working on a backstory character, but I haven't really talked about her very much because, like, talking about her too much would be kind of spoilers. Here, let me do something really quick. Maybe I can just do this. If I get rid of, like, one piece of this drawing, then it will be safe. Boop. Oh my god, where'd Clip Studio Paint go? Oh my god, where did it go? Oh my god, it has disappeared. Oh my god. Don't worry, it'll be back in just a second. I have to get rid of something. I have to perform surgery on this and get rid of some of the other stuff in this drawing. And then I can show you guys some Blorbo thoughts. CSP didn't die, I turned it off temporarily. I had to hide some things on my doodle before I showed you guys. Okay. New Blorbo alert. I can tell you literally nothing about her, but this is my new OC. Isn't she cute? That's cringe. I love her already. She's cute and I like her. I can tell you nothing about her, but she's got like a side undercut kind of hair. She's baby. Why'd you have to hide things? I can explain nothing to you. Because it's spoilers. Whomst indeed, Jay. Whomst indeed. And technically this is two characters because the character like here and then also the character talking is another character. Both of which I've been bouncing around in my head for the last 36 hours or so. She's baby and I like her. And you guys are gonna hear all about her later. Later. Not now. Later. Cast off or what's left of us. I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you. That's secrets. It's Blorbo thoughts. Don't worry about it. But she's baby and that's all you need. I cannot even tell you her name. I cannot. But she's baby and I like her. And I like her little, I might change the hair. I might not give her an undercut. I thought it kind of worked, but I might change the hair. I might. The undercut might not stick, but I think it looks cool. Not even a name. She has one. I just can't tell it to you guys. What letter does her name start with? No. Because if I tell you guys, okay, so here's the thing though, like legitimately, if I tell you guys what letter her name starts with, you guys are gonna start coming up with freaking theories and be like, I bet they're related to this character. And I'm like, no, stop it. But I know you guys will. But anyway, this is new baby. I might post some draws of her eventually, but for right now, this is a little. What's the third letter? Here, I'll tell you the second letter. I'll tell you the second letter. The second letter of her name is A. Tell us a wrong theory? She's Zara's younger sister. Wrong answers only. She is related to Zara. Wrong answers only. Larry, oh my goodness. Yes, Larry is her name. That is what she's called. Holly, I literally said wrong answers only before I said that. You can't take that seriously. You cannot possibly take that seriously after I specifically said wrong answers only. You were supposed to keep her name a secret. Her name is Larizabeth. And she's short for Larry. Larry for short. Her name is Waluigi. Her name is... What's a name where the second letter is A? Her name is... Mario, yes. Hello, Mario. Bariata, yes, that is her name. All of these are true. But no, yeah, I will talk more about that character when I am actually able to, because right now, all of you guys are gonna be like, oh, it's like, I know you guys and I know how you like to come up with your theories. And so I feel like I can't say anything. Luigi, yes. Her name is Larceny, yes, also true. Hello, little stylist. Hello, Mario. I'm glad that somebody got that joke. Like, you guys are gonna come up with your little theories, and you guys are gonna do stuff with your little theories, and it's just like, no. What do I want to bet that one of you fuckers has already posted her in the Discord? What do I want to bet? Okay. No one has posted it in the Discord so far. I whiffed that one. But in my defense, that's the kind of shit you guys would do usually. But yes, I promise I will scream to you guys so much about her when it is time. When it is time. But for now, she will just be Secret Blorbo. You missed Larry. Yes, my new original character, whose name is definitely Larry. Like, that is her first and last name. Definitely Larry. Larry's actually the surname. Very important Blorbo thoughts we're doing here. It's other Dave. No! Don't insult my baby like this. Larry is short for Larian Studios. Yep. It sure is. How do you talk about your characters without sounding self-important? I cannot think of the term it would be. The answer is that I don't give a shit and I talk about them anyway. Talk about the things that make you happy. And if your original characters make you happy, then talk about them. And if people give you shit for it, say that they are weak and will not survive the winter and continue posting. That is what I do. And that is what we all should do. We should all strive to make little guys that we love to talk about. Larry or waiter, yup. Her name is Larian Studios. Minds who brought you Baldur's Gate 3. Little did you guys know that the original character I covered up on the silly little doodle I did of her was actually Astarion. Dun dun dun! Yes, that's right, folks. You heard it here first. This character works for Larian Studios because Larian is her name, and she did come up with the guy known as Astarion. This is official lore. He goes, yeah. He goes, yeah. Very important lore here. Very important lore. For this new Blorbo in the Blorbo books. Baldur's Gate 4 confirmed. Thank you, dear original character Larian Studios. What the fuck am I talking about? I'm just saying words now at this point. It's you guys' fault. Can't believe Kasov got a Baldur's Gate 3 collab. Yes. Very important character, definitely from Cast Off. Her name is Larian Studios. Look at her go. Look at her go. We're just gonna call her Larry now. She has a name. It's not actually Larry, but we are gonna call her Larry now. Do you have any general tips on how to keep in mind and utilize what the audience knows and what they don't, like in the has-been video? Literally, I write it down in my scripts. I write it down, like, at the end of every scene in a comic script, I go into, like, the comments, because, you know, like, I do most of my scripting in Google Docs, and so I'll go in and I'll write a comment, like, at the end of every scream. This is what the audience learned. This is what they know so far. This is what they do not know. And I will literally write that in big bold in a comment next to my script after every scene. It's like, what did the audience learn from this scene? What can they assume? What theories might they come up with? Just basically, I literally just write it down. I go through the story and I write it down, and if I'm not sure, I will ask someone to read it and then tell me their thoughts. I have a couple of people who are just like my experimental beta reader types. Where I just like, I bust into their DMs and be like, hey, does this scene work? Is this interesting? Did the point get across? It's like, this is the point I'm trying to make in this scene. Did that get across well, or should I rewrite it? And then you just keep track of that shit. But yeah, I am a little bit bummed because I fell in love with Larry so hard and fast. I'm just like, oh no, I love her so much. I love her so much. She's so cute. Shit. I'm kind of sad that probably I won't be able to talk about her. And I probably won't be able to include her in the November video. Because I don't think her stuff is going to happen before the November video gets released. But I'm gonna keep her in my back pocket eventually, and I will yell about her. Because she's baby, and I adore her. She's little. Does she die? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Would I ever do that? Would I ever make a character so cute and precious just to kill them? Would I ever do that? The answer is yes, Chad. I would absolutely do that, but don't tell anybody. Would I ever do that? Don't worry about it. Yes, you would. No. No, come on now. Come on now. Rose, even you saying that? Ugh. You guys think I would do that? Just come on the internet and invent a little blorbo and make you guys fall in love with them and then kill them off. You think I would do that? You think I would do that? You guys think I would do that? You guys are being ridiculous. Yes, yup, no! Well, here's the thing about that is, shut up. Here's the thing about that is, shut up, actually. Have you considered that, chat? Have you considered You joked about killing off multiple cast-off characters before, but have I actually done it? Have I ever actually done it before? Is it all just jokey jokes? Is it all just jokey jokes? I think it's all just jokey jokes. Yet? Yeah, yet. I haven't done so yet, so what makes you guys think I'm gonna do it now? You guys are being so uncharitable with me when I'm just over here making my silly little jokety joke jokes. I am just having fun. You're not helping your cakes? I don't think I need to help my case. I think that my case stands for itself. And I have never done anything wrong ever in my life. That is what I think. There's no risks or conflicts for your character to overcome. Do you really have a story? Exactly. Exactly, Rose. Thank you. Sometimes if you want to see what a character is made of, you have to break them. Anyway. That's neither here nor there. That has nothing to do with poor Larry. Poor Larry's just, you know, she's just making up little guys. I love it when my little guys in story make up little guys of their own. That brings me joy. Can't believe Larry kills Vector. Yup, that is a thing that she definitely does. Wrong answers only. Larry is the one that kills Vector. He's dead now, and it's her fault. Why do you scream so much when I mentioned the rodent is so very close to death? Because fuck you, that's why! Leave my guy alone! It's fine when I do it, but if other people do it, then fuck that, no. Don't you dare. Destroy you. Fuck off. Yes, yes, yes. Larry is definitely the most important cast-off character. I just like how you guys are so consistent with this. I love how consistent you guys are. That as soon as I show you a character and I do not confirm where they are from or what project it's for, you guys immediately will launch into theories about how they're a secret character and cast off, or they're like this super duper important character actually. It's just like when I did that drawing of Amelia a few years ago. And everybody assumed that it was a drawing of the Queen from Cast Off actually just because she was wearing purple. It was very funny. And I did laugh very hard. But I also did do it on purpose. Because I was just like, everybody is waiting on bated breath to see who the purple character is in Cast Off. And if I draw a random character wearing a purple outfit and I post it online and I don't say anything, people are going to assume that she is a Cast Off character. And I was right. And you guys did do that. And now you guys are doing it again. Consistent, if nothing else. Hashtag purple confirmed. Nah, I kind of miss the purple confirmed jokes. Now that purple has actually been confirmed, I kind of miss the purple confirmed jokes. It was a good time. We had many laughs about the purple confirmed silliness. It was very good and very funny. But now we have moved past it. I should just go ahead and do character flats. I can do that. I'm not going to finish this drawing on stream today because I've only got like 15 minutes left and I'm hungry. I want to go make dinner. But I can at the very least drop some flat colors on her. But yeah, you guys will learn about Larry eventually. I'm sure that I will be posting about her quite a lot once I can. I can't yet, but once I can, you guys will learn about Larry. Don't you even worry about it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'm still working on the design for Larry. I'm just gonna call her that now, so that you guys know who I'm talking about. Again, that is not actually her name. That's just the code name that we've decided on now, I think, chat as a group. But yeah, I'm still like kind of tweaking the design for her. I'm not sure if I'm 100% happy with it. But you know, I'm just gonna keep playing. I have plans to draw her some more like tonight and stuff. Hopefully the real name will be revealed soon because Larry is an awful name. Jinx, if you want to know, I will DM you later. You are one of the few people that I can tell about this to and it not be spoilers. I think Larry is trying to be a writer and her roommate is a ghost. Maybe she's a ghostbuster grandniece, or maybe she's an idol who hates a script and has to act out. She could be all of those things. It's my dad's name. Oh, oh no. Quick, we have to replace Larry with something else. Call her Waluigi instead. No, that's gonna get confusing. Gary. Why is the name a spoiler? You will learn why later. I cannot explain. The act of explaining is also kind of spoilers. And this will all make sense later. You guys will understand why when the time comes. So interested. I will tell you, just DM me after the stream and I will explain. Project Larry. Oh boy, oh boy. Look at this baby. Look at her, she cute. Loving this color scheme. Thank you. One of my favorite things is like black, white, and gold with some sort of like accent color. Top tier, honestly. Gold just looks so good with everything. And then like white and gold look so good together. Black and gold look so good together. Black, white, gold, and then a pop of like bright color. Very good combo. Chef's kiss, etc. Nope. Ooh. Okay, I think I want to make this like kind of dark gray, more on the blue side. Maybe make the little band on her hat gold? Yeah, I think I like that. That looks cute. Okay, but with that, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it here because it is almost 8 and I am hungry. Like real hungry. So I'm gonna go ahead and skaboodle. But thank you guys for joining me. I think that I will probably also go ahead and schedule a stream for Friday. It might get canceled. but probably not. I have to shade this one, and then I have to do one more illustration. And if I do one more stream this week, then I will definitely be able to finish them all. And I would very much love that. So I'm gonna go get food. But thank you guys for joining me. I will see you guys next time. Fairly well, friends.